Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Good afternoon. Market looks a lot better. Of course, after a bounce for 3 days straight, it always helps things out. Let's go check it out. There we go. Yeah, look at this. Bitcoin even took back this key level I was looking at right there at 89. Now, it didn't take it back by much, but still, it's a better look than what we had yesterday. SPY looked really good. SPY took back the descending trend line. Well, and then it fell again by the end of the day. It looked like your classic look above and fell because it closed back underneath it. Oh, well. Well, it was nice while it lasted. All right. Well, the Qs, on the other hand, they've easily taken back their descending trend line. Good job, Qs. Good job, everybody. Good job. Let's look how these funds are doing. Look at old Blocks. Boy, Blocks looks good. Blocks left behind a gap and it's still open, and left behind another gap there and it's still open. Anyway, you aren't really supposed to trade these on technicals, but I was just wondering today. I wonder if you could. I don't know how to test this, but I wonder if you could look at something like ULTY or Blocks. Blocks just doesn't have enough data. It just get out of it when it gets under the 200 period moving average. I mean, nothing good happens under the 200 period moving average to any asset. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is, or maybe, but you don't want to get out of these because a lot of people use these for an income, and that's how they're supposed to be used. They're poor trading vehicles, but maybe a person could cut their size in half when it got under the 200-day or something. You just get half the income. Then when it's above the 200-day, you have a full portion. Under the 200-day, you cut your size by half. Because look how much you lost here. This is even including dividends. It went from 385 in about 2 weeks to 3, you lost, 20-30% of the value, even including dividends, just because of momentum, because the market sucked. Let's look at something like YMAX. I mean, YMAX went under the 200. It's back above the 200. Great job, YMAX. But I wonder if there's some type of defensive strategy that could be employed. Because these things are the greatest thing ever when the market's moving up. But, people loved Alti when the market was moving up. People love everything. It's just the nature of the beast. I don't know. I was just thinking about that today when I was looking at these. Let's look at something like LFGY. LFGY hasn't been around that long. Let's look at something like Tesla. March and April, everything went under the 200 period moving average. The problem with these kinds of systems is, I wonder when it goes below and then back above, below, back above, below. But if it gets above and stays above it, that's a great time to invest in any asset. Even one of these. All right. So I was working on. I got my AI problem fixed. So now I have the diversified divas, and I don't really know what that doesn't do me. That's no good. I need to talk with them about that. That means nothing to me. Stocks, options, who cares? Biggest holding is new, and biggest holding means something anyway, but it's still, they're doing better. AI is doing better than it was. So now I have the performance dashboard, and get this. This updates without me having to go load the damn chart every time. You know how I have to go over there and find my spreadsheet? We never have to look at that stupid spreadsheet again. The diversified, this spreadsheet, you guys have seen it a million times. We never have to look at that again. I published it to the web and I just put the link there. I still have to update this myself every morning, but that's just between me, myself, and I. I still want something to incorporate this chart. I need to somehow incorporate this chart over here. But anyway, so look at this. So all I have to do is hit refresh. And if it's been like an hour or two since the last updated. So look, so this is probably the last quote of the day. ULTY finished up 98 bips. Blocks finished up 459. ULTI finished up 92 bips. So, you can see it visually. It's easy to see. You can, the red ones are the diversified divas. The other ones are the competitors. And I'm interested in these. WPay's a beast. So's QLDY. LFGY could have a use, I guess, or it's mainly in there for a competitor. GPTY is a beast. But then you look at the SPY and the Qs. Every one of these beat the SPY and the Qs today. The Qs were up 88 bips. ULTY beat the Qs. ULTI beat the Qs. QLDY, every one of them. Every freaking one of them. But then, of course, we're still dealing with the poor total return since inception. But ULTI is under 30% now. They're only off 29%. Blocks is under 20% now. They were in the negative 20s for a while. ULTY is doing pretty well. It's only down 14% for the month. Total return. There's K yield doing a great job. And WPay and K yield are pretty close. They're both still down for the month, 9 and change. QLDY is incredible. Down 2.95 for the month, where the index is down 2.35. Now QLDY won't do as well on the upside because it's the entire NASDAQ, and these other ones are concentrated momentum plays, so and hand curated. But this is a terrible month, and it's just down 2.95. That's incredible. That is incredible. But then we can look at this. So then I have this too. It has the changes. So that morning show I make is going to go a lot better now that I have this. That'll actually turn into a show people want to watch, I hope. But this is one thing. Hey, I look at this, plus 2 others. What do you mean plus 2 others? Put them on the damn chart. Anyway, I've been going back and forth with them all day. So I found that kind of later in the day. It's not worth picking a fight over. But yeah, they put that on the chart. And maybe, I don't know what else, but I want them to incorporate that thing from this page that we always look at. This right here. I'm going to have them incorporate this chart right here, and then this thing will almost be perfect. I'm going to maybe have them put that a long skinny chart right under these two things, so we can kind of see the progression of, the past month or whatever. And if they just show all the positions dropped, I don't have, look at this. We have every position, every percentage. Then we have every option position. They put the options with each other. They sorted them alphabetically. So I can look here and I can talk about, on Google, they're selling, they sold 2,000 calls at the 340 level, and then they bought 4,000 calls the 295 level. So they're totally hedged under 295. And they're selling premium at 340. So they have a collar on, a 340, 295 collar. Great job. But in any event, so I have all that. And then look on ULTI, same thing, have all the positions, all the option positions. I'm sure there's still improvements, but then we have K yield. These haven't changed since we talked about them this morning, or this show isn't really about these. I was just showing you the graphic. And then the K yield option positions. And then we have Rex. We have all of Rex's weightings along with Rex's option positions. This is going to make my job one hell of a lot easier. Anyway, I was happy to do that. The good news is, the bad news is I don't have any new videos made, but I've worked on this pretty much probably 3/4 of the time since the morning show. But I think that's a good graphic. Hopefully you guys had a good afternoon too. How are you doing, BR? Thank you for being here. Chad's here. Mark's here. Greg's here. Did I see that ULTY sold Symbotic and at 54 and the next day it went up 35%? I did not see that because I haven't watched ETF Delta's video or ETF Inspector's video in a couple of nights, and I'm sure he covered that. But that happened last night, right? I mean, well, let's see, because I should have all that. I'm trying to make it where I can have all that information too. Is Symbotic should be on the drop positions. When did they drop it? Because was it a few days ago or? Because I'm just showing, well, maybe it's on the two others that it's not showing this drop. That probably is. It's one of the ones that's not showing. Damn AI. Anyway, okay. Yeah, so they dropped it last night and it was up today is what I'm imagining you're saying. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, yeah. Oh, well. Oh, well. These, I mean, anyway, what are they supposed to do? The reason they dropped it is because people are griping at them for the NAV going down. So they're dropping crazy ones and they're putting in ones like American Express, boring ones. The next thing, people are going to hate that the dividend goes down. I mean, people just don't understand that these things aren't magic, that, you can have risky stocks and a high dividend. You can pay a high dividend and you're going to have lots of NAV depletion. I mean, there's no making the consumer satisfied, but yeah, so, I mean, but no, I didn't see that. That sucks though. Yeah. Oops. All right. So let me show you guys some other stuff. Let's do this. So, but I'm going to do this to all my reports. Now we aren't going to have to look at the index buffer report anymore. I'll just publish this to the web and make a better looking graphic. And we won't have to look at this bad graphic anymore. It'll be, so anyway, that's what I'm going to do on my weekend is modernize the site and get AI to build me branded graphics that look basically like this. I think it's a better look. I like the way that that the branded graphics look. But anyway, all right, feed and 5E up the most. I mean, look at Blocks. Blocks is a monster. LFGY. I mean, even LFGY is killing it. WPay. These numbers are all different than that other report, and I don't know why, but who knows. Anyway, let's look at the yield max buffer report. Pretty much everything was up today except ABNY and GUI. Google must have taken a break, but it's been killing it lately. SMCY beat the parent. Good job, SMCY. What else beat the parent? XOMO and Dizzo beat the parent. All right, so there's that. We don't have to look at this anymore. So let's go see here. Let's go look at the one-day results here, see what's up. Oh, I think we're going to do, for the max factor tonight, I'm thinking about doing precious metals Wednesday because gold and silver. But I'll take suggestions. But I mean, I definitely want to have a max factor tonight. I'll probably even have one tomorrow night because I get bored on holidays. So just like I had content last Christmas, I'll have content on Thanksgiving. I mean, I won't have that morning live stream or whatever, but we'll have the max factor Thursday night. All right. So what's going on with this? There's more than 3 funds that are up today. This has got to be wrong. Oh, that's just Bitcoin-based funds. Okay, well, let's look at everything. Okay. Yeah, Bitcoin hit 90,000. I mean, that's awesome. Things are going great. Okay. Yeah, who was saying it was Mark was saying in Discord that HOOW was up. It was up like 10 something at the time. I think he made the post. It finished up 12 something. Heck yes. Even Hui got in on that action. Catching about 70% or about 65% of that sweet upside. Heck yeah. HOOW catching about, 15% extra. AMDW killing it. COIW killing it. AVGW, NV2. And that's good that it beat the parent. I like that. Look at old Feppy. Feppy had a good day here. NFLP. AIPI even did well. WPay. Man, I'm really happy at WPay. Really happy at WPay and QLDY out of all the ones I bought. I'm not unhappy with K yield. I believe in K yield more just because Howard, I just want exposure to his style of investing, and I'm happy with blocks. It's just it's not been a great market for blocks either. And I'm happy for you. I'm happy with ULTY, but it's having a similar problem as blocks. It needs the underlines. It needs Bitcoin to go up. But all things considered, WPay and QLDY have just done really well. Really well. I should have got both of them earlier. GDXY. Hopefully gold goes back up. We haven't looked at a gold chart in a while. Let's go look at a gold chart. Or I haven't looked at a gold chart in a while. Man, yeah, that sucks. That sucks. But I guarantee, I bet you anything that's why it was. It was going down and they're like, we got to get these high beta names out of here. We got to make room for American Express. Well, sell something. All right, what do you want to sell? Sell Symbiotic. Oh my gosh. I could be wrong, but I bet you that's why they sold it. It is not that huge of a deal because they're totally capped anyway. They would have got about 5% of that, 35% or something. But anyway, this is a good look for gold though. Making a higher low, even though they did have a kind of a rough October also. Well, they had a real rough October. I actually didn't get the top. And I sold it on right there. I sold GDXY. I know this isn't GDXY. The GDXY chart looks just the same. And it went up a little bit more after I sold it. But let's look at GDXY or GDX. It's the same chart. It's the same theory. I did wait for a bounce. It was down here. And I was like, darn it, why didn't I sell it? And then it bounced on the 28th, 29th, 30th or something like that. I dumped it. And then, of course, now it's going higher again, but that's fine. Let's make sure, hopefully my K gold, because I didn't dump gold altogether. I bought K gold and K gold still looks good. That still looks good. All right. What do you guys want to talk about? Yesterday, there was a question I never did take. I remember though, it was about TSWY. Somebody asked me, let's see. Anyway, is that person here again today? It was the Round Hill TSWY. No, it was that new Round Hill fund that's based on TLT. TLTW, or am I going live tomorrow? Well, I don't know. No one's going to be around. I was going to retire. I was going to do I'm going to do my Max Factor show tomorrow night. I'll be bored. I don't have a problem with going live. I'm not doing anything. The weather's going to be lousy. I'd like to get a run in with Jax, but tomorrow's going to be the coldest day of the week. During the middle of the day, we'll probably be able to get something in, but it's actually got pretty cold here. I had to put on long pants today. It's down under 60 or so. It's down under 70, which is cold for Austin. But anyway, I'll do a live stream, if anyone wants, but the answer is not other than my Max Factor show, which I do every night. And tonight's Max Factor is going to be on gold, silver, and precious metals. Who said that that Curve's coming out with a copper fund? That's pretty interesting. But yeah, this is the darn right. This is a freeze and all. It's going to be 48 degrees. That's miserable. Oh my gosh. That is miserable. Tomorrow, the high is going to be 63, which is how cold it is right now. Jackson and I just walked outside. I about froze my butt off. This is miserable. So anyway, yeah, I'll be looking for Inside Sports. I'll probably be working on AI and fighting with my AI a bunch, but at least AI is going better. I'm really happy with the way that graphic turned out. If I could make stuff work like that from now on, I mean, I could turn every graphic, every spreadsheet I have into a live updating, multimedia presentation that I can, I'll come on here. It'll be way better instead of me switching windows and cussing about what stuff's not working and stuff. It'll be way more engaging content. TLTI versus TLTW. Now, God, I couldn't believe I really did well in TLTW, and I just bought it for a hedge. In fact, I don't even know how I did well because I think I bought it. Yeah, that's right. I didn't buy it as a hedge. I bought it after Liberation Day was over because I was foreseeing that maybe they would lower interest rates. So I guess I got it around 22, and then I sold it the last day of October, which was just lucky timing or whatever. Yeah, I had done pretty well, and then I'd collected 5 or 6 dividends that had dripped. I mean, it was up well more than I expected. It was up like 10% or something. It was just a little bond thing that I never even paid attention to. Are you going to go live tomorrow, retire? What's your deal? You have a family and stuff. Well, yeah, it's warm there tonight. Yeah. When I used to live, Oklahoma's kind of in the South, but it's also kind of in the Midwest. Oklahoma has similar weather we get all the stuff coming down the plains coming from Colorado and blizzards. Oklahoma is just miserably. It's like the South in summertime, but it could be miserably blustery in the wintertime. Like in the same way that maybe Kansas or Iowa is, but I just don't miss that at all. I did not miss that at all. But the good thing about Oklahoma was once you get cold all winter, Oklahoma it can be miserable, but then you would get weeks in the wintertime where it's just like it is in Austin because it's still basically in the South. You would get weeks in the wintertime where it was 70 degrees or whatever, or 60 degrees, but it felt warm. But yeah, I bet 58 feels pretty good. All right, Grumpy's in the Empire State visiting his wife's family. You missed that Alabama weather. I like my southern guys. A lot of us are southern guys. Now Marcus is a Yankee. Marcus and Mark are both Yankees, but that's fine. Nothing wrong with Yankees. Speaking of southern guys, we got Mr. Brad, supposed to be in the 50s on Friday. Yeah, and below freezing in Georgia on Friday. Yeah, Georgia probably has about or it looks like, I bet Atlanta probably has about the same weather as Dallas, but it can get cold in Dallas too. But once you get to South Texas, San Antonio, Houston, Austin, it almost never gets cold down here. It's so badass. You're going to do your AM live? Okay. I'd listen to that more often if it wasn't so early. Sometimes I see it's on when I get up to go pee, at 5 a.m. or whatever, and then go back to bed. But occasionally when I can't fall asleep, I'll join and shoot the breeze with you guys. Anyway, so you guys down with you guys may have family stuff to do tonight, but I'll come on about 7 or 8 and we'll do gold and silver Friday, gold and silver Wednesday. We'll do precious metals Wednesday on the Max Factor. All right, Grumpy, what's going on? You think the announcement of JP Morgan filing for bit bonds and IBIT options being increased is, heck yeah, I hadn't heard about that yet. The last thing I heard about JP Morgan is 2 things that we talked about it, that they're shorting MicroStrategies, and they might be, but I bet they're long something else. But they're shorting MicroStrategies, and the funny thing was people on Twitter were saying if the price or Misty, they're shorting MicroStrategies, not Misty. Probably shorting Misty too, but and the funny thing was people said, if Mister's price doubles, JP Morgan will be out of business. I mean, Twitter always gets it wrong. All right, Mark's reloading his martini, man. This night specifically is one of the best party nights. I can remember so many Thanksgiving Eves when I just got torn up because all your friends, when you live in your hometown like I used to, all your friends come home to see their parents, and then they're sick of their parents. Same thing happens on Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas too, and the bars are just loaded. I've had some good times on this night a few years back. Grumpy said, sorry you haven't made the live in several days. You've been out of town. Oh, yeah, you're in the Empire State. Well, family's more important. I figure a lot of people are in the Empire State. I have 33 people, right now, and usually I have, oh, that's cool. I've never seen that. It shows how many from Twitter and how many from YouTube. Anyway, and usually we have 50 or something, but people are traveling and stuff. I really don't have anything else to talk about. I just wanted to show you guys my big win today. I mean, this could be a lot better too, but I'm just worried about the functionality. The functionality is great. I have all kinds of minor things. And for one thing, that the logo's black. They need to make the top banner black so the logo blends in. You could even do a black to gray gradient or something, but I want to get, this looks like it's too garish. And I think I probably want to replace the yellow with like a gray. I think red, black, and gray. The gray for the accent color instead of the yellow, because it looks too much like McDonald's or something. But all these are minor, just the fact that it works and I don't have to jump between spreadsheets. I mean, I can't wait to do this show again, this Diversified Divas daily show, and redeem myself, because the past two episodes have not been great. Anyway, yes, I did see Misty was reverse splitting. I absolutely did see that. And that kind of surprised me. I was surprised they didn't reverse split it when they reverse split everything else. I mean, I wouldn't know why they just wouldn't reverse split everything at the same time. I mean, because it wasn't like Misty. Excuse me. It wasn't like Misty's just taking a sudden turn for the worse. It was low enough to reverse split. I mean, when was the reverse split announced? I guess maybe it was announced probably at the end of the month. So maybe it has taken, it was probably, I don't remember when they announced it, but it's probably been a couple of weeks. It seems like just yesterday, but it was probably the last day of October, first day of November. So yeah, I guess it has taken a turn. I mean, this one's been this one, what's amazing about this one is you would think it sucks. You would really think it sucks. But I mean, I pulled up a comparison of it to something else the other day. It looks pretty dang good. I mean, it's spanking the heck out of CLM, just throttling CLM. I mean, but I'm on Twitter too much, and everyone talk, but it's just people that bought it this summer. Same problem that this Alti has. A lot of people bought it this summer and they're all dissatisfied, but you look at it on a longer time frame, maybe not Alti, but even Alti also on a longer time frame, but and it's a lot better. Don't you guys think it's interesting how, everyone talks about drip like it's the be all and end all. Depends on which way the market's moving, because if if you drip something that's going down, it decreases your returns. You'd been better off not dripping in this case. Well, it looks like you would, but actually total returns, total returns 92% dripping. Where total returns 142%. It's like anything else, but I guess that's the thing. Dripping, you can't look at it. I mean, you can look at it, but the people that are dripping now are thinking, well, this price is going to recover, and in 6 months I'll be doing a lot better because I dripped all the way down. But it just they always talk about, and I've always talked about this before, and I didn't really realize it. Well, you can reinvest half your dividend to kind of protect your NAV. Or I used to say 2/3, and or if you're really conservative, 80% or something on something that pays 100%. Just drip 80% of it, and take the 20%. I mean, who needs more? Who needs more than 20%? I mean, but depending on which way the asset's going, that's it. That's not going to help. In fact, when you drip, if you would have dripped Murney thinking the same thing, you'd be even in worse shape. But anyway, yeah, Misty. I mean, Misty's got being up lately, but over time, it's been a good one. Let's compare Misty to Coney. Misty's just a monster. I mean, it has been a monster. It just got hit recently. Let's compare Misty to Huey. Or, yeah. Hood's really got hit recently, too. Well, I mean, they both have. They peaked out at the same time Bitcoin did this summer. And then Bitcoin did make a minor new top, I think, in September, but I think it peaked out like July 11th or something. But yeah, Brad, I did see that. And I was just surprised they didn't split it earlier. I was just surprised. Oh, Neos is making an Ethereum ETF, really? And Ethereum income. Okay, well, speaking of Ethereum income, I bet this one sucks. ETHI. And I'm not saying anything about the fund, but it's the underlying has just sucked. I don't know. Let's compare ETHI to ETHA. ETHI is from, and I think it's leverage plus income. I believe ETHI is leverage plus income from Defiance. Yeah, I mean, it's been out. Oh my gosh, this thing's been out 2 months and it's down 55% or 59 if you dripped, 55 if you didn't, Holy cow. The good news is you've got a $2 dividend, which is actually pretty good for that short of a time frame. Well, it's not that good. It's about 50% annually from the starting price, but just need Ethereum to go back up. Anyway, so the Neos is going to be probably, Marcus, not going to have leverage, I imagine. It'll be unleveraged. That ETHI is particularly hurting because of the leverage. Yeah, I know I am sending the cold weather your way, Brad. KQQQ is beating the SPY on the 1-year chart. That's amazing. That's what I call winning on offense and defense. Because usually, lots of times you could say, well, whatever, it's behind the parent, but the parent doesn't pay a 20% yield or whatever. No, this one's paying a 9% yield, and now these probably be more fair to compare to the Qs, but whatever. It's impressive if it beats either one. I mean, it might be beating the Qs. I don't know. Let's go look. Oh my gosh, it is beating the Qs. And I just looked at since inception. I mean, that is amazing. I remember XDT and QDT when they first came out. They've been open for 3 months. I mean, 3/4 of a year, maybe a year or something, and they were beating the indexes. And those suckers were paying 30%. Those were amazing, or those are amazing. Those are really good ones. Man, that is impressive. That is really impressive. Then, of course, on this one, because it's gone up, you do better on drip, right? Because you're compounding winners. Yeah. 30% instead of 28. You added 2 percentage points to it. Yeah, that's really impressive. That is really impressive. I still think that this is one of the most impressive beats out there also. Unless there's something I'm missing about it, just because everyone likes Maggie so much and thinks Round Hill's so great or whatever. Round Hill's good. But I mean, that's a butt whipping right there. And I mean, that's an absolute butt whipping. Just like, or look at this one. Here's another one of my favorite butt whippings. GPTI and SPY-I. Yeah, but to be fair, GPTY is a lot more dangerous. Look at it in the pullback. So it's not beating it in all three phases of the ball game, but GPTY is winning on offense, which is total return, or no, total return's a scoreboard. It's GPTY is ahead in the game. It's winning on offense, which is yield. It pays a higher yield than SPY-I, but SPY-I is winning on special teams because they protected that down, or winning on defense, let's just say. So it's not winning in all three phases of the ball game. But something like KQQQ was winning in all three phases of the ball game. That is really impressive. Brad says, I think whenever we get current inflation and jobs data, we could see a pullback. Yeah, well, the other thing is we're coming up into a seasonal time of the year for a pullback. After the first of the year is usually a terrible time. Hopefully we have, and also sometimes when does tax loss selling hit? Sometimes like after the last week of the year, sometimes. So yeah, the last week, after Christmas and January, February, and I think March is mathematically the worst, or February or March, I think is mathematically the worst month. But yeah, we should get something. I just hope we get one more high. If we get one more high, I swear I'm going to de-risk my account a little bit, de-risk the model portfolio. Just take a little bit out of blocks and put it in S-bar or something. But yeah, I think next year it could definitely have issues. The pros versus Joe's indicator, it's whenever it gets over this fast line after a pullback like it was there, this is called counter trend rally mode, which is what we're in now. But this counter trend rally never did stop. This counter trend rally didn't turn out to be a counter trend rally. It turned out to be the primary trend. I've got the settings on here where I'm pretty happy with it. When it goes bearish at the right time, but the bullish is by the time it goes bullish, you've already lost half the money, you've already lost whatever you made. But the caution, that was a good day to be cautious at 673 because we dropped in short order to 651. And it was also fully cautious here. And also fully cautious here. I'm going to turn this into a better graphic also. And so we don't, I'm going to make, now that I know how to do what I figured out how to do, I'm going to make it where we don't have to look at bad graphics anymore. Hey, John, how you doing there, bud? Thanks for being here. You haven't really missed much. I was just bragging about how I finally called a truce with my AI and it's Claude's doing a lot better job. Yeah, I know it. Well, Mayor, I always thought I had good ideas, and I've always dreamed of having one, and just like Meet Kevin had one. And but mine would be, with my philosophy and everything, but my philosophy's changed so much over the years. And I'm telling you, the way I would do it now, and Mark gave me this idea. I'm going to have to split the money with Mark, or I'm going to have to make him I'm going to have to put him on the board if I can ever get this started. But the way I would do it is pay on the rolling 12-month CAGR. So it'd be a low payer, but it would pay out of, just make a fund that does lightning spreads but pays out a profit. But it would have a floor. Like the lowest it would go is like 6 or something, but you would have but in other words, the rolling 12, but there'd be times it pay 20 though, because the rolling 12-month, and it wouldn't pay based on income. Income's part of the equation, but so's the upside it can catch. It would just look at the compound annual growth rate. And if, and so there'd be times it would pay 20, 25. If the market went into an extended bull run, it'd be because it's paying out a profit. You just like ULTY, it'd been great for ULTY to ULTY could have paid 80, 90, 100% all summer long. But then when the market rolls over and they quit making money, it would reduce the dividends to reflect, more what's going on. I've already explained to you guys my theory, but I would love to make one of these that just pays out, that does lightning spreads and has uncapped upside. I mean, but as far as the payment goes, pay based on net profit. And not, like I say, and it just pay based on average net profit for the past year. And I think that'd be a great idea. All right. Yeah, I know we would sell it in the community, but that would be awesome. But I think the reason Meet Kevin got his ETF isn't because of his financial geniusness. It's because he has like 2 million people. I don't think we're big enough I don't think I could go, look, I'll tell my community to buy this. I mean, our community is more based on trust and knowledge and stuff, but we don't have a very big community. But yeah, no, it would be awesome. No, I'm sure you aren't joking. I'm still working on the idea though, but that's what I think it'd be. I think it'd be lightning spreads, and it'd be just like QLDY. But instead of paying the maximum amount, QLDY pays everything they earn, whether it's in an up market or a down market. It'd be just like QLDY, but it would only pay that much in an up market. As the market turned down, the dividends would cut. Even if they had to go down, there'd be a floor on it, maybe 10% floor or whatever, but they would pay whatever they made, whatever they could justify, whatever they actually made, or 10%, whatever's lower. And then, so anyway, something like that, or 6%, it would go down, but it would actually be real money. So it'd have a lot better chance of, because the thing is, when the market's going up, that's fine. You can pay more. But when the market's going down, if you pay what you were paying when the market's going up, you're taking a double hit because your investments are going down and you're paying out all the money. So, yeah, Granny is looking good. It's pretty new. I thought about putting it in I can't think of a way to get it in here. Not that. That's a white paper I was working on. I can't. Here's what I'm wondering about. I'm really, okay, we'll just look at this. This is fine. I want to add it to this spreadsheet. And I guess I could just make a new column and start doing it like I have been. But I love how we go back and compare all of them to each other. And when Vibe comes out, Vibe is definitely going to be in here. But but it's going to mess up, So what I'm thinking about doing is maybe restarting the count every month. And so let's say, like Granny, on December 1st, I can put GRNI on, but the cumulative return will show the cumulative monthly return or something. Or I'm still working on it. But yeah, I would love to add. I'm hoping there's better funds that come out, but Granny's a hedge fund style fund. And frankly, so is nukes and weapons. And the gold and silver one, because they can use any stock they want. They use advanced option strategies with potentially unlimited upside and stuff. I would love to start comparing more than just these right here. I think these are a good place to start. I guess I could drop LFGY. No one really cares about LFGY, and maybe I should drop LFGY and put GRNI in there. But I don't. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. All right. So you already used the factor for a fund selection. It's a great tool. I appreciate that. Yeah. And that's kind of what I made it for. Like I said, I was mad because YieldMax, their fund selection thing they have on feet switches too slowly. So I wanted to make the factor where it switches faster. So anyway, but yeah, I do think for trading, I guess I need to have AI now that the max factor's been out for a year. I need to have AI look at the selections and then go back and evaluate them and see if there's any advantage to buying the ones that are at the top or something. But yeah, I need to do some studies on that. Side note, apparently GRNI isn't holding GRNY itself. Well, good. I don't like that. I think that's the problem with Maggie is they're just buying the actual index that the Cornerstone or that Roundhill already manages, which is fine. But I mean, the way YMAG does it is better, I think. I don't know. YMAG is actually just buying the stocks YMAG's doing the same thing, but they're buying the individual stocks that YieldMax manages. So they're buying, GUI and AMD and whatever. Mags doesn't pay. Oh, well, whatever. I meant Maggie. I'm sorry. Mags is awesome. Mags is awesome. But what all I was saying is, but I think the way Maggie does it is they buy Mags and then they don't even sell options on the individual stock. I think they sell Mags options. Let's look here. I didn't know Mags had options. Let's look at option strat. Let's build a covered call. Okay, so Mags does have options. They have weekly options. Okay, so a guy could go out to next week and he could buy Mags at 66 and he could sell a 68 call. That's a 21 delta. And anyway, what does that bring in? 25 cents. Bid at 0, asked at 50. This is why I think I'm just trying to figure out why Maggie is getting spanked by the competition. But I last time I read the prospectus, I swear they're just buying this stock and they're selling index options on this, and it just doesn't look that liquid. I mean, let's do an at the money option for next week. Bid at 55 cents, asked at $1. Let's look at this real quick. All right, summary information. Investment objective is current income. And secondary is, exposure. All right, example, blah, 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 portfolio turnover, investment strategy. Fund seeks to achieve, blah, 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 which purchases shares of MAGs. I mean, it's their own company, so it increases the business, it increases the AUM of MAGs, which is good. I mean, I could see from a business perspective, why you do it. And it simultaneously sells out the money call options that utilize MAG's ETF as a reference. So it sells options on MAG. I mean, anyway, I think that's, I don't know. I don't think MAGs is liquid enough. I don't know why they don't. I get that you want to buy MAGs. Just don't MAGs for your underlying. Oh, I do get it why. I do get it why. But I was thinking buy MAGs for the underlying. That's fine. And then sell options in Google. But then when you get exercised, you can't deliver MAGs against Google. I mean, yeah. Well, let me see if I can see anything else here. In general. Okay, they do use flex options though. Well, The fund will seek its long exposure to mags by holding share of mags. The fund will seek to generate income through the sale of mags call options. Yeah, I think that's why it's underperforming. Their call options, I mean, you see, they just aren't very liquid. Maybe they don't have as high of an IV or something. But I just think this is I would be embarrassed if I was Round Hill to be getting spanked that hard by YMAG. I mean, because Round Hill's a good company. Most of their funds beat the competitors. They spank Defiance and they spank a lot of people, but this one is just. But I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem. In other words, they could make the same fund, but to go out and buy shares of the actual companies, and then sell options on the actual companies, which is basically what YMAG does. And I think they would do a lot better. YMAG doesn't do it. It's a fund of funds that owns YieldMax, but that's what YieldMax is doing in that fund. They're buying Google and selling Google options, not messing around with index options. This would be the easy way to do it. But yeah, I mean, I don't read many prospectuses that I don't like or whatever, but I don't like that strategy. I think it's a flawed strategy. How is MagC doing? Let's go check. Oh, you guys couldn't see that because it was on my screen. Whatever. It's just a prospectus. I read it to you. You guys, there's nothing to see there. Nothing to see there. But yeah, they sell options on their own company, on their own fund of funds. Maybe in the future, as it grows and those options become more liquid and stuff, maybe they're going to grow into it or something. So let's just do mags to MagC. Does anyone else have a YMAG competitor? Is there anyone else that does something like that? So what's MagC do? I forgot what MagC does. Okay, I'll check those out. Grumpy. Oh, you're answering. Okay, you're answering. But hey, Bon, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. What was the new YieldMax fund? It was RGYY and QBY. Okay. Huh. So, have you been sick or something, Bon? You hope to be normal soon? I felt like I was coming down with something this morning. But anyway, I feel better now. But it's just because it got really cold overnight. I woke up and my throat was kind of itchy and stuff. I'm fine now. All right. Well, let's go look at something else here. QBY. What is QBY? Oh, QBTS. Okay. They're selling, these guys have never met leverage they don't like. Because I would think that you could just sell options on quantum bits. It's QBTS itself, but they're actually selling leveraged QBTS options. I didn't even know there was leverage. I can't believe they have things like IO and Q. I saw the other day that they have leveraged IO and Q. Doesn't IO and Q have enough action already? And now they're coming out with double leveraged, of these little stocks that are already, volatile enough. Well, I hope you feel better. I hope you feel better, Bon. I'm sorry to hear that. So Maggie pays about 37 cents. Okay. Well, how long's Maggie been out? Okay. They pay weekly. I get why it's popular. Round Hill's a great company and they pay weekly. And there's a huge market for people that won't buy YieldMax. And so, but that, But if you look at the performance, it's just not a good look for Maggie. But anyway, okay, so far they paid 19%. So yeah, you annualize that, and that's going to be about 30%. What you guys say? It's been about 2/3 of a year, and they've paid $10, so it'd probably be $20. And it started out costing $50, so 40%, something like that. That's that's roughly 40% is really good. %40 is really good. But this one's paying 63, or was that 53 or 63? 53. Boy, I'll tell you this much, though. The Round Hill guys are really professional and stuff. Tell me they didn't do a good job picking when to release this fund. I mean, there's another fund, too, that just did. I'm trying to think. There's a go. Tell me these guys aren't smart. They introduced this one right after the October 2023 low, I believe. That right. Let's see here. I mean, yeah, the low in 2023 was the last day of October, I think, and the GPIX and GPIQ came out. I mean, what a great time to bring a fund out. But look at that. Even as this is a good fund. I mean, I don't think I get any argument from a lot of people. This is a really good fund, but even as good as this is, and even bringing it out when they did, it still made a new low, in the April pullback. Pays 9%. I mean, that GPIQ is a really good fund. Let's compare GPIQ to JEPQ. I think that's kind of what they're trying to compete with. Look at that GPIQ. Back when I did that video on how well GPTY was doing, there was like only 2 stocks I could find that were beating it, and one of them was GPIQ. And I think it may have been Tuggin was the other one. But yeah, GPIQ is awesome. Yeah, 12.6 to 12.4. Let's compare Tuggin to GPTY. But it was beating everything else. Boy, that's a close call right there. Wow. Oh, I was going to say, no wonder it's a close call. I typed it in the wrong space. Let's put in some Tuggin. But that's still a close call. My gosh. Look at that. I mean, I can't even tell. One's 72 and one's 44. The one in black says, no, the blue's 44. So the black is, I can't even tell. Look at that, 12.7 to 12.4. And to be fair, I'm always fair. I mean, Tuggin did about 5% better in the pullback. But other than that, I literally couldn't find one that GPTY isn't beating. I mean, there were some non-diversified ones that's not beating, but as far as, diversified. All right, so let's go back over here. Tidal may have used QLDY as the canary in a coal mine. What do you mean as far as that? Do you think I don't get what that means, but I'm interested in it. I love QLDY. Explain it to me in a subsequent comment. Better to buy mags than Maggie? I mean, yes, absolutely. If you want growth, but if you want income, you're going to starve to death with mag. I'm just joking. You could obviously sell shares, but I get the argument that selling shares, you come out ahead. Like I say, I backtest a million times, usually do come out a little bit ahead. No one's going to sell. I just don't know many people. maybe somebody in retirement will just, because you have a large amount of money in retirement, say you have $1 million, it has to last you the rest of your life, but you just sell $40,000 worth of, or $60,000 worth of stock every year, whatever. And I get that, but a young person, there's a convenience to getting the check, especially weekly. No one's going to want to, even though it generally beats, I know that financially from a fiduciary standpoint, it's better, but it is really a cool feature how you can keep your shares and they can turn part of your shares into a check, into a weekly check, even though in the long run, it's proven not to be as effective. I just think there's a convenience factor for it. Maggie has solid distributions. Yeah, I got you. We're about to get paid every day. Heck yeah. Okay. GPTY spanked triple QI, I believe. And well, I did the video 2 weeks ago. It may not be anymore. Yeah. GPTY is a badass. It beats T-Spy. It beats everyone that everyone thinks is good. People think, it beats them all. That's why I made that video. Also, because I had too many trolls in my timeline, I made that video for them. But it's legit one of the best funds out there. Depends on what you need though. Who was Alice? And she actually got a response. Okay. I'm still interested to know about the canary in the coal mine, Vaughn. I'll look for your response down here. But I'm interested in this. What do you mean that was Alice and she got a response? Alice from Twitter. Oh, that's right. Yes, I follow her too. Oh, yes. And that was awesome whenever that was awesome that Vlad quote tweeted her and said that he would look into it. Heck yes. So that's what you're saying on we're about to get paid every day. Okay. I'm just trying to follow that conversation. It beats KQQ handily. I'm telling you, it beats everything. You must not have seen my video. It was a huge video for me. Actually, it does not be. It was when I did the video, but KQQ has now passed it. But I did the video about 2 weeks ago or something. And some of the other ones that it beats, it doesn't do as well on the downside, and I said that, like T-Spy, just spanks T-Spy, but T-Spy, didn't drop near as much, and so I always add in the caveat that but on this one you don't even have to add in a caveat. They both protected money about the same, But yeah, GPTY is amazing. I need Yield Boost to release a fund on Avgo. I wonder if Yield Boost does. Yield Boost is granted, right? So what would that be? AVGY or AVYY or something? I kind of figured they did have one, but yeah, maybe not on that one. Oh, that's what Vlad said. Vlad said that they're going to look into letting people sell calls on mags. Anyway, here's Bond's comment. QLDY is doing well, so Tidal may use that as a roadmap for new tickers. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Well, like I said in the morning show, I don't think you were here, but if I was president, I would sign a presidential order made covered call funds illegal. And it mandated that all fund managers had to use lightning spreads. And I'm totally joking, but I think the lightning spread's the better technology, and the funds that are kind of the wave of the future, the really good funds, in my opinion, Tuttle, X funds, and Tuttle and X funds are going to lightning spreads. And not only that, X funds has one fund that's all lightning spreads. It brought out it's coming out with 4 new funds that are all lightning spreads. I don't know why Jay hasn't gone to lightning spreads. When I heard they were rebuilding Alti, I was hoping they would do lightning spreads, but they, like I say, they didn't. But I mean, Mayor doesn't get granted. They have solid funds like BAR and COMB, and the yield boost just looks bad. Hey, I'm telling you, you know me, I'm not. It doesn't look great to me either. The only one in there that looks decent to me is T-Spy. But you line up any of their other funds against any of the competition, and it looks bad. I mean, maybe those funds came out in February, so maybe in an extended bull run, maybe the leverage, does better on the way up. But in the time that they've been introduced, almost all of them are getting spanked by all of the competition. Yeah, I don't get it either. I guess, but there is a market for people that just care about yield and they don't care about anything else. I mean, it's not anyone in here for sure. But there is a market out there, I guess, and they're tapping into that market. I mean, there's probably some people that have so much money they aren't worried about cannibalizing their portfolio. I could see that. But yeah, it's definitely, I agree with that, Grumpy. Definitely. It's a double maxing complaint. I mean, they make yield max blush. I mean, it would have to be such an extreme bull market for any of their funds to even have flat NAV. It's just not going to happen. But I mean, because they pay, their funds probably pay, I'd say 30 to 50% higher yield than yield max on average. I mean, let's compare like XBTY. That's their crypto one. Of course, it's a rough time for crypto, but what's the yield max one? I always get mixed up if it's XBTC or YBIT, or probably YBIT, right? Because yield max, or is that there's a YBTC. Anyway, let's just look at YBTC. I can't keep straight which one of those is yield max and which one is round hill. All right, so I mean, I guess you could see the attraction when the market was going up. Oh no, actually, when the market was going up, YBTC wins, in my opinion, in every phase of the ball game here. I don't know if some things need leverage. Selling options on something that's levered on something that's Bitcoin, it may be just asking for trouble. Let's see if any of them, okay, let's give it a fair chance. That's not one of their better funds. Let's look at YSpy and compare it to the best one first, SpyEye. I mean, that is, it's beating SpyEye just like GPTY is. I mean, I guess that's the use case. If you have a bull, in an extended bull market, but you can see what happened to XBTY. If the market turns down, I guess here's the problem though. A lot of people won't accept any NAV decline at all. And this dropped from 20 to 18 or 20 to 19, but 20 to 18 and a half in an extreme, bull market. People like SpyEye because it gives them the comfort of not having to worry about the NAV, and this, went from 46 to 52. Yeah. But let's compare it to like a riskier SPY-based one, or let's compare it to WDTE from Round Hill. Just spanking the heck out of that one. Let's compare it to SPY-T from Round Hill, or I meant Defiance. I'm sorry, I said Round Hill. Let's compare it to SPY-T. YSpy looks good there. Let's compare it to T-Spy. T-Spy is a really good one. I think YSpy is definitely the best fund that Granite Shares has. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but I mean, In a market sell-off, though, its NAV's going to look like ULTY's NAV looks on a daily basis. It'll go from 20 to 6 or something. If we, like in a 2022 situation, it'll reverse split. I'm surprised Granite Shares hasn't reverse split anything yet. And we talked about that the other day. They actually have, but I don't think they've reverse split any of their income products yet. It's probably around the corner. I do not know when Global is coming out with new funds. What new funds does Global have? Yeah, no, I got you, Grumpy. That's the same way I feel about ULTY. I know it's going to decay, but it brings my average yield up. Obviously I wouldn't have everything in ULTY and blocks. It'd be a nightmare. But, when you have, I have other ones like QLDY and other ones that pay 20 and 25% that have a chance of having some kind of stability. So, not to mention also the other thing is if you have a growth assets elsewhere, you can, that your growth assets act to stabilize your bigger picture, even if your income portfolio is down. Nuggie is doing well. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. Let's look at Nuggie. Let's look at Nuggie against K-Gold. Well, that's too short of a time frame. Hang on, let's look at Nuggie against iGold or Y-Gold or something that's been out a while. Well, I guess that one hasn't either. Or Nuggie hasn't been out that long. Nuggie just came out. Okay. So Nuggie just came out and it's not looking that good compared to K-Gold. I'm assuming it's gold. It is gold, isn't it? All right. Granite CEO managed. Yeah, that's right. Will did manage. He used to work at another company, but I forgot who it was. Who does gold, GLD, whatever. That was the company. I thought Will came from Direction for some reason. And Bar. Okay, that's what you're saying. Bar is exactly like gold, but with a lower expense ratio. I get it. It just owns the underlying. Hey, we got a star in the house. What's up, Coach? I know it is. Well, what do you mean more? All I heard was Misty. Is there more other than that? I heard about Misty, and I was telling them, Coach, I'm surprised they didn't reverse split Misty when they reverse split these other ones, because it wasn't too long ago. It's been 2 weeks, maybe it's been a month, but I don't know what they were thinking, not just doing it all at once. Yeah, you're right. I'll do that. That's a lot better. I'll do that. On the next comparison, I'll go over to do that. I agree, Vaughn. They should have done it. They should have done Misty with the other ones, because it's already a PR nightmare. And that's why I think that's why they did them all at once, because they just want to get the bad news out of the way all at once. But I'm really surprised Misty didn't make it in there. Anyway, ULTY's dividend declines with its NAV. November's decline means your dividend will decline. Yes, that is definitely true. But that's also another. Just a while ago, I was saying that the drip doesn't always help, but dripping does help to keep your share count up. It doesn't always mathematically help if you're compounding declines. Or let's go look at that. But it will if you're trying to have a consistent, more consistent dividend in your drip. But yeah, if you're trying to live off of Alti, or anyone that pays 80 or 90%, unless the market's up 100%, you're going to be Jackson. Quiet, Jax. Let's see. Alti. Well, I was just trying to show something here. Let's look at Alti versus something that pays a low dividend like KQQQ. But I was just trying to make a case for dripping, and in ULTY, you actually still did better dripping mathematically than you did not dripping. But when you drip, your share count, your starting share was 775. Your ending shares was 2,500. So that cuts off a lot of that. Yes, you get less per share, but but you have more shares. It helps that situation. You have K Gold, yeah. I mean, I got it more as a vote of confidence in Howard. Jackson, what do you want? GDXW keeps up with the underlying GDX. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Well, but it's leverage, so. But yeah, that's good though. Okay, so and it's only been, it looks like it came out about the same time that K yield came out and ULTI. But heck yeah, look at that. NAV's up $3. And the NAV's up, yeah. Now that looks really good. That looks really good. Max, Mr. Grumpy. All right. Hey, Clive, how you doing? You like GDXW as well. I have more of that than the other funds, but man, does it jump around. GDX jumps around, so it's probably not GDXW's fault, I'm thinking. GDXY hangs it. Let's look at that one, GDXY versus GDXW. Heck yeah, the ultra yield competition is fun to watch. It's pretty much between Granite Shares and Yomax at this point. Round Hill gets in the game a little bit. Yeah, I agree with that, Mayor. It is a leverage play. It does bounce around. Even ULTY is being forced to change a lot. They darn sure are. All right, Clive, what are you saying here? You picked up 25 ounces of physical gold. That's awesome. That's awesome. So was it expensive? I mean, so do they actually send you the gold, or do you just own physical gold and they keep it for you somewhere? It's kind of getting dark. I wonder if Jackson needs, I wonder if we're going to go, hang on a second. Are you guys want to go on a walk? Want to go to the park? You've already been? All right. Well, let me finish my live stream. All right. Well, I'm going to cut this short. I got to go. I'm going to take Jax on a walk before it gets dark. That's what Jax is barking at. Another dog is here that is ready, that showed up to go on a walk with this. Yeah, I've never heard of Well Simple. So Mayor ordered silver coins from the States and they arrive tomorrow. That's awesome. 25 ounces. There's really 25 ounces, 100K. I didn't think about that, but that, yeah, I mean, wow. That's impressive. That's impressive. All right. Yeah. Jackson are going to get out of here. Plus it's getting cold and stuff. I want to go before it gets too dark. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Clive is saying you can ask for the gold, but they hold it. Okay. I would rather them hold it. I don't want to, but it's actually physical gold, which means something, it's different than owning an ETF. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Now, I guess it'd be cool to have a little physical gold around just in case the zombie apocalypse came, so you could pay for stuff, have grams of gold around or whatever. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Bon, I hope you're doing better. I'm sorry to hear about your condition, but anyway, be here tonight. Speaking of gold, we're going to have gold and silver Wednesday night daily factor. Other than that, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. All right, I'm ready now. I'm ready. Hang on. Is that what Jackson's barking at?